Good morning. Thank you so much, Brian. Of course, those of you who are out in the internet can see a few of us, but we have a room full of not only wonderful educators and environmentalists, but also emerging environmental leaders. Today, Howard County has nearly 63,500 acres of protected land in the form of parks, open space, and preservation easements, including over 23,000 acres of agricultural preserved land. With the support of our community and key partners, we are building upon our land preservation strategies and commitment to protect our environment. In the last 5 years alone, we've planted more than 80,000 trees, and in 2022, we became the first county in the country to earn LEED Platinum status, building upon 2019, when we were one of the first counties to join the Bee City Initiative for our strategies to encourage pollinator habits. Through our comprehensive Howard County Climate Forward Climate Action and Resiliency Plan, we've laid out an ambitious roadmap to a greener, more resilient future while doing our part to tackle the global climate crisis. Launched in June of 2023, our Climate Forward Plan emphasizes equity and resiliency in our efforts to fight climate change and secure energy independence. In addition, I appointed a climate subcabinet with leaders from each agency across Howard County to bring a coordinated whole government approach to our efforts. Among other goals under our Climate Forward Plan, by 2030, Howard County aspires to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60%, achieve 437 megawatts of solar capacity, attain 400 electric vehicle charging stations, and deliver Feed the Green Bin curbside composting to 100% of our households. In partnership with our friends at the Howard County Conservancy, and you'll hear from them in a bit, we launched a bold new land preservation initiative just 2 years ago. Our purchased conservation easement program has now brought more than 70 acres of environmentally sensitive, nonprofit-owned land under permanent preservation and earned a Sustainable Growth Award from the state of Maryland in 2023. This program is ensuring green spaces are protected from development while also supporting the continued mission of our local nonprofits. Easement acquisitions have included land owned by Holy Trinity Russian Orthodox Church in Elkridge and the North St. John's Swim and Tennis Club in Ellicott City. Our proposed FY 2025 budget will dedicate another $1 million to the continuation of this award-winning program, bringing our total investment to $3.5 million. We also recognize that as our county continues to grow, privately owned land also faces increased pressure for development. Our budget proposal for this year includes $3 million of investment to purchase and bank land that supports our climate goals by protecting green spaces, streams, wetlands, and forests. Our Climate Forward Plan also calls for an aggressive social energy expansion to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. In 2020, we entered into the largest solar power purchase agreement of any jurisdiction in this great state of Maryland, and in just the last 4 years, we have delivered 16 projects under this partnership. This includes 8 large ground mounts down the road from here in West Friendship, 6 rooftop solar systems, 1 large ground mount in the new Circuit Courthouse, and a solar array parking canopy at the Maryland Innovation Center and Columbia Gateway. In total, these projects generate 30.7 kilowatt hours of electricity annually. In the coming year, we will add to this electricity generated under this PPA with construction of a 950 kilowatt parking canopy in the East Columbia Library and a new rooftop solar project at the East Columbia 50 Plus Center. When complete, this power purchase agreement will generate enough electricity to power 50% of county government's total energy usage. Energy independence means shifting not only how we live and work, but how we travel. This especially is important because transportation generates more than half of our county's greenhouse gas emissions. Today, residents of Howard County own more electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles per capita than any other jurisdiction in Maryland, and this is made possible by our focused efforts to expand EV charging infrastructure. Since 2019, we have increased the number of EV chargers on county property by more than 7-fold. As a result, there are now more than 90 EV charging stations on county-owned property alone, 2/3 of which are available for public use. Overall, our residents and regional drivers now have access to about 355 publicly available charging ports right here in Howard County. This last year, we have more than doubled our EV fleet, adding 13 vehicles and bringing our total to 23. And in FY25, we will add 10 more EVs as we continue striving toward our 2030 goals of 42% of electric vehicle fleet. Overall, EV ownership in Howard County grew by 47% last year, and we expect to see continued strong growth over the coming years. We need to make sure that our infrastructure keeps pace with the evolving demand. And this is why in our FY25 budget proposal, we will include a $1 million investment to continue the expansion of electric vehicle programs to include new chargers and fleet vehicles. However, we recognize that buying a new electric vehicle, installing solar panels and energy efficiency measures at home, or making stormwater management improvements may not be affordable for every household in Howard County. In just the last 3 years, Howard County has helped 115 residents install more than 180 stormwater projects through our Cleanscapes program, which helps Howard County residents to increase the amount of their properties that will absorb stormwater runoff. And we heard a little bit about that from some of our watershed leaders today. Households with the greatest financial need are now eligible for up to 100% reimbursement of the cost for these investments. This includes things like installing rain gardens, conservation landscaping, permeable pavers, and rain barrels, things that we heard from our young people just today. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Our budget also includes a proposal that has $250,000 for the launch of a climate infrastructure rebate program, and that program will focus on helping low and moderate income households to make climate-smart investments in their homes. Examples could include energy-efficient upgrades, going solar, or transitioning from fossil-fueled appliances and HVAC systems to an all-electric alternative that's more climate-friendly. I want to again recognize and thank our Howard County Conservancy for hosting us today. In addition to its role as an environmental steward managing over 2,000 acres of preserved land, the Conservancy also provides a comprehensive environmental education program that includes curriculum for school-age children, summer camps, and even a nature preschool at Belmont Manor. Their nature preschool is a meeting place and something that is a persistent need for our child care in our community, and blends a unique immersive environment education component. The Conservancy's efforts have been so successful that over 100 families are currently on the wait list. To aid them in meeting this demand, we will make a $100,000 grant to the Conservancy to identify and fit out a new facility to expand this incredible program and serve even more children right here in Howard County. I want to thank all of our dedicated partners for working so hard to ensure that Howard County is the very best place to live, work, play, grow, and thrive for all. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Earth Month, and happy Howard County Watershed Report Card Day. So, early in County Executive Ball's first term, a little over 5 years ago, I had the honor to speak as a private citizen at one of his first environmental events. And at that time, I stressed that climate change is real, it's happening now, it's serious, we humans are the culprit, it's a global problem that requires local solutions as well as global cooperation. And while we already have known solutions, what we need most is the political will to put those solutions into action. Now, I knew then that my friend, Dr. Ball, a leader who I now have the honor of calling my boss, understood the urgent challenges and the opportunities presented by the climate crisis. And he knew that a whole of community effort, through that, we could make Howard County a climate leader, and that is just what he has done. So 2019 was a time when the United States was led, or more to the point, misled, by those who denied the reality of climate change and who walked away from our international commitments under the Paris Agreement. Shortly after taking office as county executive, Dr. Ball joined with other local and state leaders around the nation in signing the We Are Still In Declaration. This committed Howard County to doing its part toward achieving the goals of the landmark Paris Agreement. As a former career diplomat who had a hand in that hard-won agreement, this was very personal for me. So I'll forever be grateful to Dr. Ball, not only for making climate change a priority for Howard County, but for also helping to ensure that our nation honors its word. That same year, 2019, in addition to becoming one of the first counties to join Bee City, Dr. Ball went further by enlisting Howard County as the nation's first county to accept the U.S. Climate Alliance's Natural and Working Lands Challenge. And this put us on the path of nature-based climate solutions to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions through carbon storage in healthy forests, meadows, and farmland. Amid the scientific community's increasingly dire warnings on climate, Dr. Ball responded by issuing an October 2022 executive order to strengthen Howard County's climate goals. These ambitious goals are aligned with what the science tells us we need to do, and they surpass the goals that are set by the state of Maryland and the federal greenhouse gas reduction goals. In addition, these goals are at the core of the Climate Forward Climate Action and Resiliency Plan that Dr. Ball launched just almost a year ago in June of 2023. Climate Forward represents a comprehensive work plan of mitigation and adaptation strategies and actions aimed at achieving our climate goals for 2030 and 2045. Dr. Ball mentioned that he had established a climate subcabinet composed of department and office leaders from across the county government. That subcabinet is guiding the work of 8 working groups that drive implementation of our Climate Forward plan. My office, the Office of Community Sustainability, is coordinating the efforts of each working group. And in effect, what we are doing with this whole of government effort is driving systems change, the change that's needed to achieve our climate goals. So less than a year into that effort, I am greatly encouraged by the collaboration, the commitment, and the creativity shown by our working group colleagues in pushing Howard County's climate action forward. So of course, even the best laid plans alone are not enough to deliver real results. They require investments in people and programs, like the ones that the county has made previously under the Ball administration and the new investments that County Executive Ball has proposed for FY25. To be clear, these are more than simply investments in making our environment cleaner, greener, and more climate resilient, although all of that is really important. They also help to ensure that the people of our beloved community can continue to thrive in a Howard County that is secure, prosperous, equitable, and sustainable. And finally, I just want to echo Dr. Ball's call for a whole-of-community approach to maintain Howard County as a climate leader. We have the talent, we have the know-how, we have the resources, and we clearly have the leadership and with the will to pursue climate-smart policies and investments. So today, I am once again enormously grateful to Dr. Ball for his vision and dedication in leading on climate and sustainability. And I am grateful to my amazing team in the Office of Community Sustainability, our fantastic colleagues across the county government, and to all of our wonderful partners here in the community. Working together, we can grow our economy, create jobs, protect the environment, and enhance the quality of life for all our residents and move HOCO forward on climate. Thank you.
Thank you. And what a great day for this announcement with Earth Day less than a week away. We've already started the party here at the Conservancy, for those of you that were earlier, you saw. And earlier today, I did speak about Dr. Ball's very early support of our Youth Climate Institute program, which started here at the Conservancy and is now in 4 states around the country. It's this kind of leadership and support that is so important to developing groundbreaking programs for our community. The funding announced today will help us grow important environmental programs like our nature preschool, an innovative approach to early learning where children spend the majority of their day outdoors, with nature incorporated into everything they do. Learning in nature has been shown to improve mental health, foster resilience and problem solving, and reduce attention disorders. With 100 families on our wait list, there is a real need to grow these types of immersive educational opportunities for our children. The continued funding for our Purchase Conservation Easement Program, a first of its kind, will help us continue to preserve streams, forests, and historic landscapes around the county. We've already preserved 75 acres through this program, and we are really just getting started. Dr. Ball, we are so very grateful for your environmental leadership. I also want to take a moment to recognize our hardworking environmental educators. We have a lot of them in the room today. Teachers like Ann Strozik, who next year celebrates 25 years teaching in this county. And Ann has really transformed environmental education for middle school and high school students in this county. Our Director of Early Environmental Education, Jessica Kaler, is here. She is really the force behind our nature preschool and our early childhood programs, and we are so lucky to have her on the team. We have a few other, I think I saw Teddy Driscoll, our elementary manager, is back there. A very engaging educator. Bess Kaplan is back there. Bess developed really first of its kind climate curriculum that has been rolled out in this county. And I think I saw Blair and Kirsten and Tabby and a whole bunch of, raise your hands if you're on the team. So I am so grateful to this group of people. They are the ones that make the magic happen. So thank you again, Dr. Ball, and thank you all for coming.
When Tim asked me would I take a minute, he reminded me to speak on behalf of Dr. Ball and his efforts, and I just realized that I had never publicly had the opportunity to thank Dr. Ball. You see, late night, what was it, 2019, starting in 2020, when the world stopped and we had a pandemic that we didn't understand. Well, at that same time, all of the funding for the Watershed Stewards Academy that's housed under the University of Maryland Extension, it all expired. It was expunged. I don't think he knew this, but he came through with some pay-go money that kept the doors open for the academy. The following year, in order to keep us sustained, he put the first program addition to the Extension's office in Howard County, our program, the Watershed Stewards Academy. He put us in there permanently. And I got to tell you, thank you. I thank you. In our efforts, we've helped so many CARES groups. Wildlife Cares with Bess back there. We work with her. We work with faith-based organizations, community organizations. We have stewards embedded pretty well much everywhere in the county. We do hundreds of assessments, whether they're property homeowner assessments, neighborhood source assessments, faith-based organization assessments, like Interfaith Partners of Chesapeake are our partners, but Oakland Mills Interfaith Center, the First Lutheran Episcopal Church in Ellicott City, all of those folk are embedding Cleanscapes programs because we have stewards embedded in there doing that work. And I thought I was just coming to speak, but I'm so encouraged by what I see here today, because coming from somebody that didn't see the diversity that I see in this room really chokes my heart. I was telling some young folk over there earlier that they were telling me about their project, and I told them, you know, don't give up on us. We're a little old, we're a little hard-headed, but we will listen. So I thank you young people for what y'all are doing, and I have hope that we will win this battle. Thank y'all.
Back in 2018, I guess I began my sort of professional interaction in the environment with Howard EcoWorks, working with Lori Lilly. And through that work, was given the opportunity to serve on County Executive Ball's transition team as part of the environmental subcommittee. And even though I'm not technically an environmentalist, I care. And I guess that's why I'm here. I'm so heartened by all of the young people who are here that are championing work to save our planet. But I also want to speak on some of the words of Tim Latimer and Terry with regard to, you know, we are the culprits, and us hard-headed old people need to be a part of the solution. Those of us who are old enough to remember Y2K and the whole freak out over, you know, a few digits that needed to be added in computer systems to fix a problem that had worldwide consequence. Well, we depended upon the experts at that time and the scientists to come in and solve our problems. And we sat back and we watched them do our things, and lo and behold, very little went wrong on January 1st, 2000. However, climate change and our environment are not things that we can sit back and ask scientists to solve for us by themselves. We all have to do our part, because our children, our grandchildren, and future generations depend upon us to leave them a planet they can live on. And to that end, it is our responsibility to not only become educated, but to pass that education, and then to take action by supporting and demanding from and voting for those people in leadership who will serve us and put forth the policies that will bring about the changes and the actions that we need to take place for our children.
So I moved to Columbia about 10 years ago. I purchased my first home, had a child, and once a year, I attended the annual meeting for my HOA, nothing more. I was not very involved. I just led my life. But I've always had a passion for gardening and the environment, and I noticed that my neighborhood had a lot of exposed tree roots and spots that stayed muddy after it rained. When I talked to my neighbors and the HOA board about this, most people wanted that to change, but no one knew exactly what should be done, and no one wanted to increase our HOA dues. Then I learned about the Community Stormwater Partnership and met Terry Matthews and the Watershed Stewards Academy and learned of a whole ecosystem of organizations in Howard County that could help us do a project. We applied for the grant and ultimately won $50,000. This funding allowed us to hire Howard Eco Works to build a rain garden, install gardens filled with native plants, and plant 20 new trees in our HOA. The HOA itself and one neighbor personally chipped in to buy more plants so that residents could install a few gardens too. Little did I know that this would be the most valuable part of the project. We made space for our neighbors to connect at a now annual barbecue, and we got to know each other while digging in the dirt together at those gardening events. This spring, as these new gardens come to life, we're all witnessing the beauty of what we created together, and we're very proud of our work. And it all started with this grant from our county. So thank you. And I know our HOA will be enjoying these gardens and trees for years to come.
I just want to say one word to our young people and our environmentalists. While I hope that we motivated you, I hope even more that you know you motivate us. Thank you.